What is going on, fight fans? Welcome to yet another episode of the MMA Show. Not a full episode, maybe more like a clip. I'm going to start trying to do like more clips rather than long episodes. So, for example, if there's like a big card with, let's say, 4 really cool big name fights, I might do like a couple of clips instead of just one full episode. But let me know what you like. Let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer the long episode? They usually go about like 40 minutes to an hour, and I talk about the whole card. If you want me to break it down by fight and then do clips, that's fine too, like 10-minute clips. I think that would be okay. But let's test it out. Let's see what happens. So we did just have this past weekend a UFC 297 Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis. It was a good fight. It was a really, really good fight. And obviously, Dricus took the dub from Sean Strickland. It was a split decision. Before I even get into the fight, man, I just want to say, before the fight was happening, I don't know what I was feeling in my heart. I was just not liking Strickland, bro, okay? Listen, I know, I get it. He went through a lot. He went through trauma, but whenever, speaking of a trauma, bro, watching the fucking fight, you know how they do the tweets on the side? Theo Vaughn was like, he said some dumb shit like, let's get some trauma or let's get some of this trauma or some shit like that. I just fucking died. But anyways, he was talking about, he went on Theo Vaughn's podcast actually and started crying and shit, and that's fine. But his whole thing was like mad at Dricus for talking shit about his dad, right? And I'm with Dricus on this one because Dricus did say like, hey, bro, you're the one that talked about it. You put it out there, right? And then how many fucking times has Sean not talked mad shit, call people faggots and gays and whatever? It is what it is, bro. It's fucking... I don't know why he did that. Like, you're willing to insult someone and you're willing to insult, other people, but you don't take it. It's a quick way, I think, to like lose some popularity. I myself, I was not into it. I'm like, whatever, dude, it's fine. I was a huge Strickland fan after the Izzy fight. But when this happened, I was like, it just doesn't look good. I'm still a fan of him. I still want him to do good. But I just knew it that Dricus was going to win. I even put money in it, and I did win some money, so that's great. But I don't know. Strickland. Now, we're going to say what we said against when he fought Izzy, right? When he fought Izzy, what were we saying? Oh, Izzy looked off, or did Strickland have a really good night? I don't think this fully relates here because it was a split decision. It was not that, apart, really. I mean, easily, if Strickland gets one more round, I think if Strickland gets 3 or 4, the fight goes to him. Like, it was a split decision. I personally did not think it was a split. I gave Dricus 1 went to Sean, 2, 3, and 4 went to Dricus, and 5 went to Sean. That's what I scored it. I know I'm not a professional, scorer, a judge or whatever. I'm just watching the fight and I'm just looking at what's going on, really, right? Dricus did have some really good takedowns. Didn't do much with them though, but however, the purpose of a takedown when you are fighting a striker is that if you're not that good in the ground, like I don't know how good Dricus is on the ground. Like I don't know if he was planning on actually choking Sean. Hey, get off the couch. No, get off the couch. Sorry, my dog is not allowed on the couch. Anyways, I don't know if Dricus' plan was to like take Sean down and try to choke him or finish him or submit him. I don't think that was it, right? Because, I mean, he didn't do anything with the takedowns. As soon as they hit the floor, a couple of times Sean just got right back up. A couple of times he was held a little bit, but didn't do much with the wrestling. Now, this is the wrestling part that I, myself, hate when Khabib does it and Islam does it. Like, when they take you down and the people, you don't do anything with it, and everyone was like, oh, he dominated. Like, all right, well, you get the takedown, right? That's good, right? Against another world-class fighter, that's a big deal, right? But then all you do is kind of lay on him and weigh on him, right? You don't try to go for submissions that much, right? Or even a couple of times the guy gets back up. That's the part that I'm like, I don't love that as much. I appreciate the wrestling and the grappling, right? But if all you want to do is take a guy down and just hold him there for fucking 3 minutes of a round, I don't know. I don't like that at all. I'm not saying Dreykus did that, right? I'm just comparing him to like other fighters. But Dreykus looked okay on the feet. He had decent moments. Sean Strickland's jab, man, is fucking insane. I will say that right now. His jab, fuck. I didn't appreciate that. He didn't use it as much against Izzy. This fight, bro, his jab was on point. If he would have won the fight, it was mainly on jabs because that's all he was doing, right? I mean, he was doing some 1-2s. That's great, some 1-2s. But to set up the 1-2s, he was jabbing so much, and fuck, I would love to see a percentage of success rate on his jab because his jab was landing, I'm willing to say like 90% of the time. Like, it was insane. And every time he would pop Dreykus, his head would just go back, and you noticed it. And first round, Dreykus had a nasty swollen. It was either left. Yeah, I think it was left eye. And when I saw that, I'm like, well, that's going to be an issue because some fights get stopped if that gets really bad. If that gets a little worse throughout the fight could get stopped, right? Luckily, it wasn't like that. But then if you want to talk about visual damage, right, when you look at Sean Strickland's face, he got a really nasty cut on the left eye too, and his whole left face was covered in blood. He kept wiping it, but it just kept pouring. So both guys banged. Like, I'm not saying anything. Like, this fight was good. It was an entertaining fight to watch. It wasn't, fight of the year potential by any chance, but it was a great fucking fight. And both guys came out, and Sean definitely slowed down by round 3 and 4. I mean, he gave those to Duplessis. He for sure took 3 and 4. And if you want to give him 2, I guess 2 is kind of like the decisive one. Like, I gave 2 to Dreykus, honestly. So 2, I guess, if you are rooting for Sean and you want Sean to win, 2 is the one that you have to look at, really. Like, who won 2? Because the other are pretty clear, right? 1 was Sean, and then 3 and 4 were Dreykus all the way. 5 also could be a little disputed, but I still give it to Sean. So just because he had a couple of big kind of loopy punches that he was throwing that was having some success. So I was like, oh, maybe if he would have done that, earlier in the fight, could have knocked this dude out. But it wasn't the best technique, but he had some loopy punches going on. But hey, they landed. They were so loopy that even some of them were land like with his forearm, kind of like here, just so, But he did land some shots, so I gave number 5 to Sean. So it comes down to 2 in my opinion, right? And if I go back and watch 2. I think Duplessis for sure had a takedown, and Sean had the jab all the way, right? But if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, Duplessis had the takedown, and then plus the end of the round, he landed a really nice right, or it could have been a combo, like a 1-2 to Sean. So that's why I gave him number 2. And that's it. And that's why I think, in my opinion, the judges had it correct. Duplessis won. I don't think it was a split decision, however. But regardless, it was a good fight. So, I don't know what happened to Sean. I don't know if he got emotional. I don't know if the nerves got to him. I don't know if he wasn't there that much. He wasn't defending very well at the throws the later rounds. He was throwing really nice jabs. That's the main thing that I take out from this fight is Sean has an amazing fucking left jab. Yeah, left jab. I don't know. Fuck. I think it's a left jab. But it's on point. I mean, he almost won the fight in all, if in round 2 he doesn't get taken down and he doesn't get rocked. Well, he didn't get rocked, but he doesn't, land. He doesn't get that punch that landed. You could see it landed flush. And a lot of time that's what judges look at, right? Because if you scramble with some guy, if you're in the scramble, you land a couple of small punches, like the judges don't look at that much, right? But if you get one big reaction of like that is when the judges will score that. So if that doesn't happen, I think Sean wins the fight all the way. So going back to my initial point, sorry, I know I kind of went all over there, but going back to my initial point, it wasn't a fight like Izzy where Sean had an off night, right? I just don't think it was also a split. So I'm in the middle. It wasn't a complete domination by Dricus, but it also was not a split. I mean, that's what I think, right? And that's my opinion. It honestly doesn't fucking matter because now it's in the books. Now, Dricus is the brand new champion of the world. And he did go on the mic and called out. At first, he was calling out Alex, but my boy knows better. I mean, bro, I don't know what it is about Alex, but he just fucking looks unstoppable, right? And I thought it was fucking hilarious that he was in Sean Strickland's corner. Anyways, he was kind of calling out Alex, but he kind of moved away from that. I mean, it makes sense if Alex is willing to cut the weight. I don't think he is. I'll tell you why it makes sense. It makes sense if Izzy doesn't come back, right? Soon, I guess. Now, one thought that I had was, okay, if some of these guys today, or, when the fight was on Saturday, if one of them comes out a little bit fresh and, let's say it would have been a second round KO or like a, quick finish where they didn't take a lot of damage, you could totally make the turnaround for UFC 300 against Izzy, right? Is that what they wanted to do? I don't know. I doubt it, but you could have if you wanted to. I don't think that's going to happen because both guys got, Dricus, both their faces are pretty beat up. And I think that's where you need at least a couple of weeks for the swelling to go down and, the cuts to heal and shit. Knowing Sean Strickland, he's fucking training right now, with the nasty cut. He doesn't give a fuck. But the hope was like, okay, if there's a slight possibility that these guys could turn around quick and fight Izzy at UFC 300, that would be perfect, right? I don't think that's going to happen. So now I think they're going to look at like UFC, 304 or 305 for hopefully Izzy versus Dricus. Alex is there. However, I don't think Alex is supposed to go down again. Plus, he has been pretty active on the socials saying he wants to fight Jamal Hill, that's the next fight. And I get it. I mean, you just won the belt, right, at light heavyweight. You got to defend it. I respect that. I agree with that. As soon as he defends the belt, I say he can come down and fight again if he wants to. Now, that won't be till, again, another probably a year. Depends on how he fights against Jamal Hill. But from that, now he will fight the winner of Dricus and Izzy, right? I mean, that's next. That's for sure. The question when is, I don't know. UFC 300, I don't think so. I think there's like a 10% probability that these guys fight at UFC 300. If they do, obviously that favors Izzy because obviously, DDP, whenever a champ turns back around and kind of gets a fight really quick, it doesn't really go out their way. It happened to Izzy when he fought Sean. It happened to Aljo when he fought Sean O'Malley. So whenever a champion turns around and just, they feel the pressure from the company, from the fans, like, oh, you got to fight this guy right now. It usually doesn't go well, right? So if I'm Dricus du Plessis, if I'm DDP, I wait. I don't give a fuck about UFC 300, right? I just won the belt, motherfucker. So I'm fine. I don't want to get greedy, right? I won the belt. I don't care about 300. That's fine. I'll get pay-per-view points. Next fight, I don't care. So, wait to 304, 305, and then defend the title. Make sure you have a full camp. Make sure you heal. I don't know if he has any injuries or anything going on after the fight with Sean, but if you do, take care of those. Take care of the face, the swelling, and get back to training, right? Don't try, because, bro, the UFC 300 is in April. I mean, that only gives us 3 months, really, because now we're about to be in February. So, 2 months, really, if you think about it. If it's at the beginning of April, I don't know what day exactly it is on April, but yeah, that's what I would say. I would say just wait. But that sucks because now UFC 300 is looking kind of light. They've announced some great fights, and I'm sorry I haven't been here to talk about them. They announced, Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. We have some fights we already knew, like Bo Nickel. Fuck, they announced one more. I forgot. Oh, I think it was Davidson Figueiredo, right? Is that 300 or is that 299? I think it's 300. Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. That should be a good fight. So we got some good fights in 300, but we still don't have the two, like the main event and a good co-main event. Like, it's really good. I was hoping it was going to be Charles versus Islam, at least the co-main. So my prediction was co-main, Charles and Islam, and then main, Conor and Chandler. Now we know that's not going to happen, obviously, because Islam is injured. Charles is already fighting. What's his name? The guy that just beat. What's his name? I forgot. But he's fighting that dude. And then Conor and Chandler are not fighting till International Fight Week, which is in June. So, 300 is looking kind of light. I've heard rumors of a super fight, but nothing concrete right now. So I guess we just have to wait and fucking. I don't know. I feel like they should have already announced something for 300 now. I feel like they usually. The most I give them is 2 months. Like, if you don't give us a co-main within 2 months of the event, like, that's kind of sus, really. But yeah. Anyways, next it's obviously DDP and Izzy. That all depending on where Izzy and where he is. He did say he was gonna take some time off. It's already been like 6, 7, 8 months. So, after, with a camp, you're talking about almost a year off. So, is that enough? Do you need more time off? He's also not that young. Obviously, he's 30. He's in his mid-30s. So, take a couple of years off. That is going to, that's going to be tough, really, if you think about it. So, I say just a year off. It's fine. You freshen up. You're good, bro. You've been chilling. Come back and give us what we want, However, Izzy is one of those guys that if he were to retire right now, that's totally fine, too, because he's one of the GOATs. And for sure, he's the GOAT of the division. There's the argument that Anderson Silva, whatever. I think he's the modern GOAT for sure. Anderson, I think, is, in my opinion, he's at very, very high on my overall GOAT list, right? Like, no matter of weight classes. He's really high up there with John Jones and shit. But, I think Ace is definitely the GOAT. So if he were to retire right now, cool, bro. You did it all. You proved whatever you needed to prove already. You don't have to prove anything, right? And, when you've lost 2 out of your last 3, it's just not ideal, right? So if he goes back and loses, now what? Is he gonna fucking go back to the queue? Fuck no, bro. I'll tell you what's gonna happen. If he comes back and loses, he's just gonna be looking for big money fights, right? So he's gonna call out Conor. He's gonna call out, probably the 4th rematch against Alex Bejeda for the light heavy. That wouldn't be bad, honestly. I feel like he could do that. But at light heavy, bro, you do not want to fuck with Alex, bro. At light heavy, bro, no, bro. Alex Pereira not cutting weight is actually a fucking demon, scary monster, bro. So yeah, it was a good fight. Like I said, I don't think it was a split, but that's what we got. Eventually, it went my way. Your boy won some money. I also won some money with the Chiefs, by the way. Brother, oh, that game was close. I bet that my bets were kind of weird, but I bet that the Chiefs were going to win. And then I also bet that the Bills are going to be up by half time, and then the Chiefs are going to win by the end of the game. And I was right. And your boy got some money. It was a nice little, nice little, nice little sum. Not going to lie. Nice little sum. But yeah, DDP won me some money, so thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Excited. He showed some flaws in the fight, obviously. I think he has to improve a little bit on his striking defense. He has to improve a little bit on, he tried throwing some flashy shit, some spinning elbows, some spinning. It wasn't working that much. I think one spinning back fist kind of landed, but it was kind of ass. So, kind of get rid of those, you know what I mean? And just kind of focus more on your fundamentals, right? Your jab, your defense, and then your grappling, once you take down. I will say, if DDP was able to take Sean really easily, I wonder what he'll do with Izzy, right? Because Izzy is also not the best wrestler. He's got good defense. Is it better than Sean's? I don't know. As far as Sean Strickland goes, now he's in an interesting position because, former champ, defeated, one of the GOATs of the division. Honestly, I also wouldn't be mad. Let me just say this. I also wouldn't be mad if we get a rematch for these two guys, right? But, just throwing that out there. However, for Sean, I think there's people that he could, kind of have a fight with for a number one contender fight again, right? So, for example, perfect timing for the winner of Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker, right? Whenever they fight, the winner of that, I don't think they get a title shot right away just because they're both coming off losses, or I don't know, but Costa hasn't fought in forever. No, I think his last fight was a win against was it Luke Rockhold, I think. And Whittaker obviously lost against DDP, right? So none of them, I think, are deserving of a title shot right now. And they're fighting their fight. I don't think it's a number one contender fight, right? However, the winner of that fights Sean Strickland, right? And then the winner of that could fight the winner of Izzy DDP, right? That's one path you could go down. Obviously, the other path is the rematch, which I'm not mad about. I think if we get a rematch, I think I would favor Sean. I think Sean will be able to kind of fix some of the mistakes he made. Also, DDP, though, because DDP was making arrangements, DDP was adapting mid-fight. Obviously, first round came out, it was not his. Everyone said, oh my God, it's going to be easy fight for Sean. And he adjusted mid-fight and won the fight, obviously. So I'll be surprised if he can also, I wouldn't be surprised if he also makes some really good adjustments for a rematch, potentially, right? But we'll see what we get. Anyways, thank you guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for tuning in. Again, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.